years ago.
Wow.
And then when we talked about writing an early reader series, I thought, what if I took that very first draft that I still felt very attached to, and I adjusted it so that it was an early reader instead of a picture book. And the second 2 books came from there. They just came from Max and his little friends and me thinking about what he would do with his friends after his initial coming out is mostly settled.
Right. It's just a fun adventure series with a group of friends, the kinds of kids all kids would like to hang out with.
Exactly.
So Raycraft Books focuses on publishing books by authors and illustrators from underrepresented groups. So can you talk a little bit about your connection to the Max and Friends series?
Yeah, so Max is transgender in the same way that I am. I came out when I was much older. I didn't know that I was trans until I was already in college. And Max is like 5 or 6 years old, so there's that difference. But I think it's really important to be an openly trans person writing books for kids, so that all kinds of kids can see that no matter who they are, they can grow up to be writers and artists and just adults in the world where that part of their identity isn't something they have to hide, it's not something they have to be ashamed of, and it's also not something that they have to get over or get past or overcome. It can be something that is just a larger part of their life that influences who they are, but doesn't dictate who they have to be. Emery, here. Stella, me. I raised my hand when she got to my name. She looked at me, and then back at the list of names, and then back at me again. I wondered if she thought my name didn't make sense for me. I felt that way too. Can you call me Max? I asked. Max is the boy in my favorite book. She nodded and wrote it down. I won't tell you what my old name was. That's private. That's private.
There's so much in this one. It's not didactic. She's not trying to teach a lesson. She just has a raw human emotion about that. And for maybe a little fear. He certainly was very brave in that moment. What you would say to those children who weren't included in your talk or to their parents?
I wouldn't say anything particularly special to those children because it's not their fault. And I know that I've never met a child who has a problem with trans people. The kids that I've met have uniformly been open and accepting and caring and thoughtful. Uniformly been open and accepting and caring and thoughtful. To the parents, but I would encourage them to read my books and to think deeply about why they see my books as a problem. And I would ask them to look inside themselves and look at what are they afraid of? Because at the core of that is fear. They're afraid of something. And I don't know what that is. I do not know where that fear comes from. And I would like them to think a little bit more about what precisely they're afraid of.